Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out ComPetability. This is a card game for roughly 2 to 6 players and for ages, again, roughly 7 and up. The reason why I say roughly is because the side of the can here says 2 to 8 players and ages 5 and up. However, the rule book says something completely different. It says 2 to 6 players in ages 7 and up. So there's conflicting information between the can and the rule book. So I'm going to just say, based on my experience, many years of experience, this is ideal for 2 to 4 players. Probably 2 to 6 is okay, and ages 8 and up. But parents should really, gauge their kid as to whether or not they could handle this kind of game. So what is ComPetability? Well, ComPetability is a matchmaking card game that sort of has a pet adoption theme. Players will be dealt a hand of cards in the beginning of the game, and they're going to be trying to get all 5 to be compatible with each other. The first player to do that will end the round, and then players will tally points. Players can play multiple rounds to their heart's content, and then whenever they decide to quit, they can look at their final scores and see who actually won. So what does the game come with? Well, the game on the side of it says nutritional facts. I kind of like that. You can see 54 total creatures. There's 19 dogs, 19 cats, 9 birds, 4 turtles, 2 we are not sure, and 1 very special creature. Spoiler, it's a unicorn. I did pull a random sampling of the different animals so that you can see what is all in here. Here's one of the we don't know what this is kind of thing. Cards typically have a name in the upper left-hand corner along with a type of what it is there. Sometimes it'll be the actual animal itself, like the turtle here. Sometimes, if it's a parent that's like a cat or a dog or something like that, it'll say puppy or adult or something like that. So you'll see the name of the creature on the top, as well as some kind of descriptor, whether it's an adult or puppy or whatnot. On the upper right-hand corner of these cards is a point value. At the end of a round, players will tally up points, and assuming that you're able to keep the card in your hand at that point, you'll be able to count that as your final score for that round. So there's different point values on these cards, and typically a card that is harder to match with others will be scoring more points for you. On the bottom of these cards is a descriptor as to what the animal is, or what it prefers to be compatible with, and you can actually see along the bottom like little symbols. I'll find something that's a little bit, there we go. So we've got either red, green, or yellow symbols down here, along with like dogs, cats, or birds, and right above it you'll see like no dogs or puppies and only 1 bird. So there are some restrictions to this. Typically red means no. You cannot have red dogs at all. There's a red dog symbol here, so this animal cannot be paired with a dog ever, and that even says up here no dogs. The yellow means yeah, you could pair it with another bird, but with a restriction. It says here only 1 bird, so you can only have 1 other bird with this particular card. Green means yes, you can totally pair cats with this particular creature, no problem. How that works, I'm not sure. Cats typically eat birds, but I'm not going to get too much into that. For gameplay purposes, that's what the red, green, and yellow symbols mean. And again, if you're not sure what the symbols mean themselves, just read above it and you'll see what they can be paired with. So again, this is a random sampling of the different cards that you might find in the deck. And again, I'll just briefly go through all of these too. The art's really nice, I like that. So yeah, there's a lot of different animals in the deck. And like I said, at the beginning of every round, you're going to shuffle these cards up. Every player gets 5 cards, and then you're going to deal 1 card face up to form like a discard pile. They call it a shed pile. And with your 5 cards on your turn, you're going to either draw from the shed pile, or you're going to draw from here, just 1 card, and then you're going to pick a card from your hand and discard it. So you always have 5 cards at the end of your turn. So long story short, draw a card from either of these 2 and then discard 1. It's very simple. And again, if you happen to get all 5 to be compatible with each other, you say, I'm done, and then the round ends. The player that ends the round gets a bonus 10 points. And then also, because they're all compatible, we'll count every single point value they have up here. The other players will have to discard cards that aren't compatible with their group. The cards that they can keep, they'll go ahead and count up their point values and record it on a piece of paper. I don't want to get too deeply into the review or anything like that. I do have a written review out there. This is sort of just a visual overview of everything, but I want to make something very clear. I'm a bit unhappy with just the design in general. Yes, there are other games out there like Zombie Dice that do use cans, but I have so many games in my collection that are cardboard boxes. They're small and flat. This does not stack well with other games in my collection. On top of that, when I first opened this for the first time, and this is just promotional cards and stickers in here, but the cards were in the can, and I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but some of these are actually chipped up top here, and the cards were bent. So some of the cards were slightly damaged. This plastic lid, which takes the place of this, whenever you peel this off for the first time, this is supposed to take the place of it, but it's extremely warped. And my girlfriend and I have both tried to fit this on here, and it's so warped or just small or something to where it won't fit on here. So like my girlfriend and I just gave up with that process. So the rule book as well has a number of errors in it. In addition, like I said, the player count and the age requirement that do not match up here. I don't know what this identifying PO dash means. I have no idea what that means. So there's like a start of something there, but it's missing. There's also this content dash once a player has 5. So like there's a sentence here that's supposed to be finished but isn't. And then here, play lots of rounds and keep score on some blank. And then on the top, character notes. So like I tried folding this in different ways to see maybe the continuation of these sentences are somewhere else, but they're not. So like this rule book just has a number of errors on it that need to be addressed. So from a design standpoint, I'm really disappointed with everything here. I've seen prototypes that are in better shape than this. But from a gameplay standpoint, it's very family friendly. It's easy to get into. It can appeal to players of all ages. Again, I would recommend 2 to 4 players, probably in ages 8 and up. I love a game with a theme around animals and anything that opens a dialogue about pet adoption and pet compatibility and teaching kids, you need to observe an animal's behavior to see who it can and cannot live with, because that's for the health of the animal and for the family in general. An animal might look cute, but if it can't live with cats or can't live with dogs or has some kind of issue, that's a very important thing that, I think should be educated to a lot of people out there, kids and adults alike. As someone that has adopted animals myself, I'm very familiar with all of that stuff. So any game that opens a dialogue for something like this is, top notch in my book. The retail price on the official website is $11. For what you're getting here, like I said, it's not bad. There are some design issues, though, that are very difficult to ignore. But you can read more about this on my official website, www.dadsgamingaddiction.com. I'll put a link in the below description for you. I'll also put a link to the store page should you want to buy this game. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I can publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.